Now, using the standards that have been established by PhysWig, it would basically go through a whole process of comparing each and every individual feature that's presented in the face. So we can see from just a general face and head shape, he's got what we call a kind of rhomboid style head shape, where slightly wider at the cheekbones and then narrows out at the top of the head and the inferior portion of the head. And that is actually something that follows on in these images of Makhubu. Looking at the forehead, brows and eye shape, so the forehead has quite a prominent, what we call supraorbital brow. So it's quite prominent, quite heavy, and you can actually see that. I mean, thankfully these images of him when, or at least Makhubu when he was 18, he's post-puberty. You can see he's got this prominent brow ridge, which is evident in the subject image of Vinnetou. Cheeks, again, he's got quite prominent anteriorly placed cheekbones, so that's to the front of the face. And you can kind of see that here as well. He's certainly not got flattened cheekbones. He's got a relatively wide nose with a rounded nasal tip. It's generally quite a snub shape, which follows through in both Makhubu, Vinnetou images. One slight difference I find, which could come down to, again, the lighting in the image, is that his nasal bridge, this part, seems to look a little bit narrower in the Makhubu images than what you see in the Vinnetou images. But that could, as I said, come down purely to the brightness and contrast of images and the sort of lighting that was used. It's got quite a distinctive mouth shape, the Vinnetou images. So you see he's got quite a thin, flat upper lip and a thicker, more prominent lower lip that seems to protrude slightly forward. And you can certainly see in image 2 a very similar mouth shape. And the ears as well is quite an interesting feature, because you can see, there's a bit of a notch in the ear shape in the mid portion. And even though it's quite hard to tell with these ones because of the angling of the head and lighting, but you could see certainly in image 3 there's the notch there, which is quite a distinctive feature as well. So the ears are relatively consistent. Another aspect of the study is a proportional comparison. So this is basically taking all the images that you supplied and scaling them in order to best fit each other and rotating them in order to best align with features. And you could see actually all the markings are generally consistent with each other, so eyes, nose, mouth,
so that's the
chin.
distance between each of the features?
Yes, the general proportions. So that's horizontal and this is the vertical. You can see the width of the eyes, width of the nose, width of the mouth is generally quite similar, and even obviously with 4, 5 and 6 you've got the issues that his head is distinctly angled at a 3/4, but you can see the width of the eyes is generally quite consistent. We can't do anything with the nose and mouth in those.
And is that generally quite a good gauge of comparisons?
It's useful. You wouldn't fully confirm from using this technique, but it helps give you a general idea of how features are laid out in the face and how they relate. But I would say that the current evidence that we have, it's not enough to confirm identity, but that's the case with any kind of facial comparison. But there's nothing that draws him out. So I'd say it lends moderate support that it could possibly be him.